So, Scott, we talked about debt. Let's talk about equity. Tough market to buy in. We have a long list of preferred partners out there. What are you seeing in the risk-adjusted returns or in the multiples that our partners want to achieve in order to close a deal?
So that's a bunch of answers. One, yield on cost expectations have definitely gone up as cap rates and interest rates have gone up. So we were buying industrial under 7% yield on cost over the whole in previous years. Now we're 7.25% up to 8%, depending on the risk factors of that deal. There's a ton of equity out there. The equity's on the sidelines, but it's just not going to do anything. They want to either see distress to come in and do something, or they have to see something that's just pretty straightforward. So our luck so far has been multi-tenant light industrial continues to be somewhat of a favorite. So we've got equity partners that are doing those deals with us. But if you start talking to some of the groups who've done business with in the past, they only want to buy distressed debt. They want to buy a short sale. They want to do something that they can sell to their investors that they bought something where somebody was really desperate. And that's just not where we play right now. I think there may be an opportunity for equity maybe to go into some of this class super A kind of office stuff over time. The first to fill assets are really still attractive and they're doing pretty well. But everything else in office, I just can't figure out at this point. You and I have talked about that.
On the interest rate, on the cash on cash versus going in cap rate, there's a term that I haven't heard for 12 years that have crept back into our investment committee called negative leverage, which does not mean you don't have any cash return, but as best I can tell, it means your rents need to go up over a period of time for you to equal the cap rate that you're buying at.
Exactly. I mean, it goes back to the yield on cost. Over time, your yield on cost should be rising, but with the going in cap rates below your debt interest rates. And again, it goes back to if you're borrowing at 8.3, we're not buying industrial at 8.3, so you have negative leverage. Sometimes that creates negative cash flow, but not all the time. The multi-tenant light industrial that we were buying for 5 to 7% annual cash flows are now down to 1 to 4% because the debt has gotten so high that you've got to fight through that to get back to your debt rate to make the deals have some positive leverage. And typically for us, that's 12 to 24 months of a hold before we get into a positive leverage situation.
What do you think is the difference maker for us approving a deal with negative leverage versus not approving a deal?
It's super important that we have mark-to-market rents that are somewhere between 15 and 30% below market rates in place that we can get to with a weighted average lease term of something like 2 years. So in a 3 to 5 year hold, we can flip that around.